Hello and welcome to the Heresy Lodge. I'm your host, Dylan Cooper, the constant host over here.
Gavin Franklin.
And we are back this week to review Eye of Terra.
Eye of Terra.
Yeah, Eye of Terra.
Not terror.
So that's all the same shit, though. We had already reviewed the first story last week, so we'll be starting with Aurelian this week. Before we get too far into that, Gavin, what you drinking?
I've got a Three Floyds beer this week, and it's so good. This one is called Speed Castle.
Ooh.
Have you heard of this?
No, but it's a stupid name, and I like it.
It is a Pilsner. Super easy to drink. It's got like a robotic ant face.
Oh, no, that's what I drank last week.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Well, here we are. It's great.
It is really good. I
Really
didn't realize
good
it's called
beer.
Speed Castle. What the? I don't think I called it Speed Castle last week.
Speed Castle. What, are you sure? Oh, is this the one you said looked like a vagina?
Yeah, like the anatomical version of it.
Now that I have it in front of me, I still think you're weird.
I You just don't look at good enough vaginas, man. I don't know what to tell you.
I suppose.
You gotta look at the full 3D diagram.
That's what really gets me. When I open up medical journals, man, I go crazy.
Hey, we all got our kinks. We don't shame them here. So
What did you bring?
Man, I just got a hodgepodge of a couple things here because, as you all know, last week I was sick. Turns out I had the Rona. So I've not been allowed to leave my house. So I have whatever just laying around in the fridge. So I'm currently drinking a Corona Premier. And then on deck, I have another mom water. Linda, the blueberry peach.
Linda. Well, aren't you the blueberry peach? Jeez. That is great. Well, I love the Corona for the Rona. Always a good time.
You know, I didn't plan that, but now that you've said it out loud, I kind of wish I did.
Yeah, it's a lot cooler if you would have thought of it.
Yeah, I totally thought that the whole time.
So, going into Eye of Terra, but before we do, we got to make sure that everybody knows who we are.
Yes, we are the Heresy Lodge. You can find out more, though, on our Discord, which is pinned to our Twitter at Heresy Lodge. Email us at theherесylodge@gmail.com. We actually had someone reach out that's a local from here. And that's fucking cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. We got invited to play some tabletop, so we're definitely looking forward to some of that in the future for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be fucking awesome. If I didn't say that, the email is theherесylodge@gmail.com. We are on YouTube, so head on over there, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Those are the things. If you feel like contributing to the podcast at all, we do have tips enabled on Twitter.
There we go.
Yep, those
That's
are the
the
things.
spiel. Nicely done. All right, so Eye of Terra. Where we off? We're on Aurelian, right?
We are on Aurelian.
Probably the coolest story in this book. Maybe not. I think it's very long, which is expected because of what the story entails. So it's not, I don't think as thrilling as a couple of them, but this is like a crazy story. It's very ADB. I like it a lot.
Yep, so as a quick reminder from last week, this is the one that is between First Heretic and Betrayer, and this follows Lorgar's path through the Eye of Terra.
This is actually in the First Heretic, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But it wasn't written in First Heretic. It kind of seems like ADB was like, hey, you know, people doing sequels and prequels. How about just shit that happens during the book that I didn't?
Yeah, what was that thing that we just glossed over for like a second?
Yeah. So it's all about Lorgar's trip into the Eye of Terror.
That is the same thing.
So he, what's interesting though is the story begins at Isvan 5.
Yes, and it is a meeting of the Traitor Primarchs, and it starts off with Lorgar just fucking side-eyeing one of the Primarchs at first, and you're like, what is happening?
Which one is it? Which one is he pissed off at?
Who hurt his feelings?
Yeah.
Turns out none of them hurt his feelings. He realizes Fulgrim is not Fulgrim, and he just fucking beats the shit out of him.
Yes. So
it's hilarious,
funny.
too.
Yeah. So I think this is kind of interesting. A couple things to talk about here. So if we remember the Shattered Mirror short story in the Primarch's novel, this would be before that, obviously. And in that, it was revealed that sometime in between now and the start of Shattered Mirror, or Reflection Cracked, sorry.
Yeah, Reflection Cracked.
Fulgrim reclaims his body. We don't know how that happens, but at this point in time,
a really, really big
all right,
butt plug, and it transformed him.
I knew where this was going. So, Lorgar was able to just beat the shit out of Fulgrim, which I think is another very funny point. I think Lorgar even they really hyped Lorgar up a little bit in the 40K novels. It's like no matter how much they try, everyone's still like, yeah, but that didn't make any sense.
My favorite part too is like he's like sitting there like staring at Fulgrim, and he's like, guys, that's not fucking Fulgrim. Why is no one freaking out? That is not Fulgrim.
Does anyone else see this? Is this not crazy?
Or it's just like, shut up. I'm like trying to talk. It's like, guys, that ain't him.
Yeah, it's a very, very funny. And the interaction that you get is really Magnus, who's not really a hologram, an astral projection, because that's what Magnus does. Everyone else is in holograms. He's got to come in astral projection.
Which is very interesting that Magnus is there.
Yes. So this is right after Isfam 5. So I find it really interesting that he's here. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure Magnus, I mean, obviously he tried to stop Horus, but I also think he knows that Horus egged on Lehman Russ to kill everybody on his planet. So this is very quick for Magnus to be there. Plus, we also know from Betrayer, which happens well after this book, that Magnus is still trying to make up his mind about who to decide. So I think it's interesting that Horus would let Magnus in, because obviously Magnus hasn't given the like, yeah, I'm on your team, guys. And I think it's interesting that Magnus would even go. So kind of weird just seeing him there.
Yeah, because even in the last time we saw him was in Deathfire. That's well past all of this, and he still hasn't decided because he helped them in talking about Vulcan.
Yeah, so Magnus's character is quite an enigma, and it's interesting to see, you know, he gets written about by Graham McNeil, he gets written about by Nick Kime, he gets written about by ADB, because Magnus is such a pivotal character to the heresy. But I wonder if all of them have like different ideas of where Magnus's loyalties lie. But I think this is clear, it's ADB, and he wrote about Magnus and Betrayer, and so I don't know, it's a little off to me. It's a little off having Magnus there, but sure, why not? Yeah. Maybe Horus is trying to sway him to his side, and Magnus, being Magnus, is like, yeah, I'll sit on a war council. I'm the most important person to have on a war council.
Can I have the biggest chair? Because I ain't coming if I don't have the biggest fucking chair.
I'll make one myself.
Also, I'm not going to physically be there.
Just leave the chair there.
I will float in there every now and again.
So the conversation is about Magnus questioning Lorgar about what he saw, and Magnus does reveal that he knew about the Chaos Gods, but he's like, it doesn't matter. I mean, Magnus still thinks he's better than the Chaos Gods, which I think he is too.
I mean, no one's going to convince Magnus otherwise.
Mm-hmm. So basically, the whole story is Lorgar retelling his visions that he had with Ilgalath.
Whatever the fuck that weird, nasty smelling snake thing was.
Ilgalath from the first Heretic took Lorgar into the warp as his like guide.
Yeah.
And tried to convince Lorgar to like go and join the Chaos Gods. And I've enjoyed it a lot. So let's just kind of go through it. First, he takes Lorgar to the destruction of the Eldar world.
Yep.
Where he finds out about the birth of Slaanesh. And all the Eldar that died. And he starts fighting an avatar of Cain. And it's just like a really cool scene. You get like, they talking about how like Slaanesh killed millions, billions of Eldar even. And having an avatar Cain come out of the ground, and it's just the whole concept of like these dying gods that mean nothing, you know. It's just like really cool to read about that. And the whole point of like, I think that was trying to get across was the Chaos Gods outlive all.
Yeah, it's a very interesting concept, right? Like the Eldar worshipped Cain, who was their god of war,
Caleb Mitra.
and he ain't shit now. I mean, Lorgar beat him, so you know he ain't shit.
Well, it's just the avatar of him, a shard of Cain, but yeah, for sure. I agree with that. And we also had Fulgrim beat one in Fulgrim.
Yeah, but the one that Fulgrim fought was way cooler.
Way cool.
This one was like a fucking like old man that like got the shit kicked out of him. It was just like kept getting back up, and so Lorgar just like gave him a final blow.
Yeah. Then we get Lorgar basically transported to Terra, where they have like the big battle. Now, I do have multiple qualms with this story, and the first part of this, my first qualm is this, and is the vision that he has while he's at Terra during the fight under the gate. Do you remember that one?
Oh.
Yeah. So he gets transported to the Battle of Terra between the traitors and the loyalists, but he sees. You remember who he sees? Like the demoned up. It was
Argotal.
Yeah. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm hoping that this is just some demon trickery. Because remember, Argotal got the whole thing where it was like you will die beneath the wings of the Imperium or something like that, was like his destiny. You'll die underneath like gigantic wings or something.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be like, it was like the Emperor supposed to kill him or something?
It was what he was told by Ilgalath when he was turned into the Galvorback was his destiny was to die beneath the wings of the Imperium. So, or something like that. Oh, under Great Wings. Great Wings.
Yeah, something like that.
And when Erebus killed him, he looked up at the Titan and saw the giant Imperium sigil. That was supposed to be it. And I'm really hoping that this is just some demon trickery that shows Argaltal.
I think he's gone. I think it's like gone.
Yeah. I hope they don't actually bring him back as like a semi-demon to die to Sanguinius. I hope that doesn't happen.
I don't think so, because like the way that like the vision is supposed to work, right, is like they're possibilities.
That's true.
And Lorgar being Lorgar messed with like the sands of time, basically.
I think that's true. However, the problem that I have seen is every vision that the Chaos Gods have shown so far has come true. So I do worry that they're going to bring Argaltal back, but I hope not.
I don't think so, because I don't know how they would bring him back that would make like any sense. And I think they were just like kind of using that as like a plot device for Karn.
And for the whole Word Bears Legion, essentially. Yeah, I hope so. I really hope that's how it is. But Argaltal in this vision dies as Sanguinius. So that's supposed to be like the great wings that he dies under is Sanguinius' wings. So then he gets teleported back to the same planet, the Eldar planet.
Yeah.
But this is when some shit goes down. Are we missing a teleporting? Oh, yes. He teleports him first to the planet of sorcerers.
Oh, yeah. And he sees Magnus like 50 years in the future.
Yeah. So he goes, and what's interesting to me is this is Magnus after the fall of Prospero. So it's some weird time shit. So basically, like old school Lorgar before the heresy, before the cons of the heresy, goes and talks to Magnus after the heresy, past Prospero. And all the guards like are mutated, but they're not like mutants that we've read about in Thousand Suns. They can still talk. They still
the flesh change is doing weird shit.
Yeah, so the flesh change is like turning people into partial mutants, but they're not taking over their minds entirely.
Yeah, which is weird, because how it like made it sound in Thousand Suns is like they would like almost like turn into this mutant thing and just like I don't know why. I imagine they like exploded.
They like lost all sanity and everything. Yeah. So as Lorgar gets escorted to go talk to Magnus, Magnus just doesn't believe that Lorgar is there and that the planet itself is trying to conjure up an image of Lorgar.
And Magnus is like, man, if all my fucking brothers, it's Lorgar that you guys try to fucking make, what the fuck?
Yeah. I think it's kind of interesting because Magnus still refuses to believe at the end that it was Lorgar. So this does happen. Lorgar does talk to Magnus at the planet of sorcerers, but Magnus believes it's a fake. And he tries to kill Lorgar or something. Or attacks him or something. But
I think
Elglath
they just
has to
use
pull
like
him
some
out.
like psychic bullshit between each other.
Yeah,
Because during all this, Lorgar has awoken his psychic abilities, apparently.
Yeah, and basically Elglath is saying he's not supposed to go in, he's not supposed to talk to the Lord of Magic. And so Elglath pulls him out, but with a lot of great effort.
Yeah.
Brings him back to the planet of the Eldar. But Lorgar is really confused as to why he brought him back to the planet of Eldar. And Elglath this is the best part. He's just kind of like, fuck, like I didn't mean to.
He's literally like dying this entire time too, like getting like sicker and shit. It's like I can't hold on to my host like any longer.
It's like some weird shit's going down. The gods broke the rules. I think they're gonna try and like test you or whatnot. Yeah. So of all the gods to break the rules, of course, it's Khorne.
I was surprised.
You were?
No, not at all.
So Khorne sends down a bloodthirster. Apparently the bloodthirster. I've never heard of him before. Do you remember his name?
I don't remember his name, but this is when I was like, that doesn't make no damn sense.
I was thinking
because like we met like Kabunda, who's not the bodyguard of Khorne, and he fucked up Sanguinius.
Yeah, and we were thinking of. I was also thinking possibly Scarbrand, but nope, that's not a thing. So yeah, this is like the bloodthirster of Khorne, like his top. This is the fucking dude. Like he will give Khorne a good match, kind of thing. Who knows? I don't know. But Lorgar beats the shit out of this fucking thing.
Dude, like it's not even like a match. He just fucks his ass up.
Yeah, so apparently Lorgar is like way more powerful than Sanguinius, which is crazy because they're like on the exact opposite ends of the strength tables.
Yeah, it doesn't make any damn sense. It's like one of those things where like, guys, we should make Lorgar a badass, and everyone's like, dude, he's not badass. Stop.
Yeah, it was a bit of a stretch to have him kill that bloodthirster like that, but I think they could have sent a bloodthirster, but to be like the bloodthirster of Khorne, the guardian of Khorne, Khorne's number one bloodthirster. I mean, this dude is badass.
Yeah, like if it was like a fresh bloodthirster, that's like they had to have been like under like Kabunda or something.
Yeah.
Like you can't have.
Although
the one.
To be fair, Sanguinius fought both Kalbunda and a Keeper of Secrets at the same time.
He did. But the first time it was just Kabunda and he fucked him up.
Yeah, I mean there was a lot of stuff going on there, but yeah.
And he broke
after Lorgar beats the shit out of this guy, another demon appears. What the fuck is this
one?
name?
That was the Keeper of Secrets, right?
No, Changer of Ways.
Changer of Ways, yeah. The Tzeentch guy.
Oh my god, what is his name? He is like the famous Changer of Ways. Yes. Kairos Fate Weaver.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kairos Fate Weaver. He's like the demon. Kairos Fate Weaver is like the demon that Tzeentch acts through to affect the mortal realms, essentially. Just changing all kinds of crazy shit. He also is a character in Age of Sigmar.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he's kind of a big deal, and he basically talks about all of the different possibilities in the future. And he talks about all the ways that Lorgar could die. And I actually really like this because they're like, there's no certainty. Because they're trying to convince him to not attack Guilliman at Calth.
Yeah.
Like, not himself. They're like, attack count, that's fine, but not you. Because you will die. He will kill you. Which is
honestly,
crazy.
that'd been great.
It would have been great, but Gilliman couldn't even kill Corfair. So I don't know.
Man, that was... yeah.
So then they start revealing, he's like, why are you talking about future uncertainties? And they're like, no, future is like 100% certain. There are many times that you could have died or can die in the future. And they're like, oh, he's like, really, name the times that I could die. So they name off like when Korax almost killed him. It's like, you could die from Korax. And he's like, that's crazy. That would never happen.
Doesn't he say like Lehman as well?
Yeah, like when he tries to intervene between Magnus and Lehman Russ at that planet that they've gotten a fight. He did intervene. He didn't die though. But they said that Lehman could have killed him right there, which I think is a bit of a stretch. But hey, this is what blows my mind, right? Like, Lorgar at this point beat the Bloodthirster of Khorne, and then goes and gets his shit wrecked by Korax.
So Corvus Korax super OP?
The Korax is basically a god, apparently. This whole like Khorne demon fight really threw off the balances of logic.
Yeah, this happens though in like every book though. Like every time there's like a demon that pops up, you're like, "Holy shit, this dude's gonna fuck up everything." And then it's like somehow Lorgar is like 30 times stronger than him. You're like, what?
Wait a minute. Yeah, I would have loved to see like
Lorgar worships that thing.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a little strange, but so essentially they Kairos Fate Reaver warns him to not attack Gilliman at Calth himself, which he does eventually follow. And then I think that's kind of it. He goes to make his decision. And you see him back on the Vengeful Spirit, and he's like, goes back to talk to Horus. And he's like, I'm going to kill that fucking... That
rat
demon,
bastard.
That demon in Fulgrim, because that's disgusting.
Yeah, which is so fucking weird. Because I'm pretty sure even Horus is like, what about like your Gal Vorback? It's like, it's different.
We're Primarchs. That's fucking weird.
Yeah, that's fucking sick. That son of a bitch.
There is a difference. Like, Fulgrim was possessed against his will, and that's not what happened to the Gal Vorback, but still, like, the story is really cool. Qualm I have. I hope they don't bring back Argyle Tall, and I don't understand. I think the whole beating of the Bloodthirster was a lot. That's my opinion. I think it's
I wonder what like Lorgar does like when he sees fucking Fulgrim. I was like, oh god, it has a fucking snake. What the fuck?
Oh my god. This is just all fucked up. It's like, did you not see the dude that talked to you with a snake head and a bird head? You didn't think that things were gonna get weird? Yeah, so it was okay. I mean, it was a good book. It was a really good short story. It was really cool to get insight. ADB always does an amazing job. Like, ADB can write a book where Lorgar fights a fucking what the fuck, Bloodthirster and win, but it's still like a good book because it's written really well.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, moving on.
Next, we have Massacre.
This is the one that you're gonna have to cover because I don't remember anything from it.
Was that this one?
Yeah, it's the one where there's an Night Lord's Apothecary at Isfan 5.
Yes, so let me do a quick refresh real quick.
Yeah, I'll just read it real quick. Everybody stand by.
I just needed to see how long it was. So I remember this is past Isfan. We have
are just fighting each other back there.
Yeah, they are monsters. It's past Isfan 5, obviously. The Night Lords have come down and they are literally just butchering people.
Fair enough.
And there is an apothecary who he's like going down. He's mercy killing people. Night Lords don't like that. They get fucking pissed at him.
Stop killing them like that.
Pretty much. Hey, You gotta torture him. He's like, I don't want to do that. But he gets like his shit rocked by another Night Lord. He's like, all right, fucking fine.
I think
I gotta I gotta go take out their little glands, so fuck you. Get out of my face.
it's
And
very
I'm pretty
funny.
sure he gets killed.
It's like one of the situations where it's like, guys, it's been a long day. Like, I love torturing people as much as the next guy, but I am fucking exhausted. And we've got like thousands of people to murder. Like, can we just make this one quick? No, that's not our way.
You gotta wear his skin. Like, I
Like,
don't want to wear its skin. It's gross.
oh my gosh.
Also, this is a fucking Iron Hand.
Yeah, super weird. But yeah, interesting story. Next one.
Yeah, it was also ADB.
I'll say to be.
Next is the Brotherhood of the Moon.
So, Brotherhood of the Moon. Here we go. This is the one where. What the fuck is his name? The White Scar.
Yep, the White Scar.
Or
This one is gosh, what the fuck?
Tim.
It's Tim, yeah. Torgon Khan.
Torgon. Okay, it's very similar to Torgodon.
Yes.
So Torgon Khan. So remember from the Scars, there's really not a lot that we didn't cover in the review, but essentially it talks about his compliance with the Sons of Horus at the time were the Luna Wolves. And kind of talk, because if we recall, he really wanted to be a Luna Wolf, so it makes sense that in a compliance with the Luna Wolves, he would learn about the lodges.
Yeah. Also, is a very cool concept of two legions who are very different.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we know the Scars are all about just fucking pushing in and being fast, and the Sons of Horus are very meticulous. And you kind of have where the captain of the Luna Wolves and Torgon Khan actually like have an argument about like their fighting style, and Torgon's like, "Huh, you make a valid point."
Yeah, and you also get the idea too, where if you recall from Scars, there's a conversation between him and the other White Scar main character. Can't remember his name off the top of my head, but
I feel like it starts with S for some reason. Like, I don't know why Salaban is on top of my head, but I don't think that's it.
Saban? It might be Saban.
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't started Path of Heaven yet.
In that conversation, they talk about how they designate Saban's troops designate themselves the Brotherhood of the Storm, where they start designating themselves like Company 13. Yeah. And he's like, that's really confusing. Why are you not the Brotherhood of the Moon? He's like, well, we just think it's easier to go by numbers like the other legions. And he compares them directly to the Luna Wolves. And this is where that happened, to get that conversation where it's like, Brother of the Moon, like, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, how are you supposed to do that over comms? Like,
Brotherhood of Moon, it's super easy.
Brotherhood of Moon.
It's fucking 3 words.
But you also think, like, it does make sense if you look at the military aspect of the Scars. It's bonkers. Like, their whole thing where like they name their groups after things, and their entire thing is just go really fast. Go really fucking fast. Like, screw it, just go really, really fast, and everything will be okay.
13th check-in. Oh yeah, this is Brotherhood of the Flying Filleting Dragons.
Okay.
Also checking in.
But you go to like, if you think about Company 13, you could do like 13 Squad 5. We're Brotherhood of the Flaying Dragons, Strike Squad Talon. It's just like too much. So
you get the Strike Squad Wing.
all the stuff that the Luna Wolves are saying, it makes so much sense. Like, military wise, the Scars don't make a lot of sense military wise. They're fun to read about because it's really cool.
Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah. So I think like, if I was in this guy's position, I'd be like, yeah, actually, that's really fucking smart.
Which is, I mean, it's basically what he did.
You also get the thing where it's like, so you're the Khan, but also the Khan is the Khan.
Yes.
They're like,
No, he's
yeah,
the Kaga Khan.
the Kaga Khan. And we're
Yeah.
Subu Khans or whatever. They're like, okay, yeah. And you get the argument at one point where he's like, well, it's easier to work with other legions if you all do the same thing. I feel like Saban was like, well, they should
too
have just
busy
been.
being fast.
We're so fast, they can't catch up to us. They don't even. Who cares? They can call themselves 13 and 12. We're miles ahead of them. Brotherhood of the Moon. That's so much more badass.
Yeah, we're about fucking style points in the White Scars. Fuck you, pussies.
I'm trying to recall too the scene where he joins the lodge. I don't remember a lot of it. I think it was
Pretty sure he's
just
just like confused.
yeah. He goes in like, "What is this?" And they're like, "Don't worry about it. Like it's cool, dude." Like it's like going to a lodge meeting in another legion is kind of like smoking pot for the first time.
Well, I mean, it was like that for the fucking Iron Warriors.
Yeah, it's like, don't
They
worry.
were doing like LSD though.
Don't. It's totally cool. Just take this. Take this. Like, come on in. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. And then you're an Emperor's Children 3 years later. Gateway
And
drugs,
like,
kids.
I put this in your asshole.
Going to a lodge meeting is like a gateway drug, 2 butt plugs. We've already confirmed this.
Emperor's Children approved.
Horse, or what's the entire plan behind all of this? He's like, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Look, we're just trying to have orgies.
We're growing the lodges. The master plan is coming together. The war is just a little side effect thing.
The war is if we were bored.
So, that is Brotherhood of the Moon.
Yep, solid one. The thing, I really like the White Scars. I really like Chris Wright. What I don't like is that like we kind of just keep getting like the 2 same characters in a bunch of short stories, and like I kind of would have liked something different from them.
We've had 3, yeah. We've had 3 big short stories. 2. No, it's been 2. 2 short stories about the scar so far, right? No, it's been.
No, there was 3 because we had the one about
the girl,
Isugi, which was really cool.
We've had 4.
Yes, we have had 4. Yeah, the girl, the captain lady. She's not even a captain. She's like a fucking
logistician. Which one?
Mhm.
What was the one about Yasugi?
Yasugi was the one when like he was a kid.
Oh, that one was really good.
Yeah, it was fucking sweet.
And we have one here. We had what was it? Brotherhood of the Storm, and this is Brotherhood of the Moon.
Yes.
Yeah. So 4 short stories surrounding pretty much the Book of the Scars, except for Yasugi's, which was just an awesome short story.
Yeah. Oh, I swear to God, Path of Heaven is the exact same book. I'm gonna get so mad. All right, next we have Inheritor. That was the Titan in the ship, I think. Right?
No.
Or is that
no, this is the one that I have to talk about because you don't remember anything about. This is
one
with the word bearer. They're doing like the most word bearer shit I have ever seen, where he erects that temple.
Oh, yeah.
So this short story, basically the concept is there's a group of word bearers and world eaters stationed at this planet in Ultramar. They had taken over the planet from a group of ultramarines, and the world eaters were about to kill all the ultramarines, but the word bearers said let them escape. So there's a lot of tension between the word bearers and the world eaters because the world eaters obviously want to kill everything. And there's a lot of back and forth about why they're even listening to the word bearers in the first place. And the leader's just like, relax. And he does the most world eater thing where he's like, he tries to control the nails because he thinks this is the nails as like an art. Like he'll go into battle and he'll fight and try to keep him at bay for as long as possible and then unleash him where he thinks it's a good time. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I remember this one.
And freaking the word bearers are building this temple. And the world leaders are like, what the fuck are you doing? They're like, trust me, we're going to summon some crazy shit. We're going to do the craziest shit. And it's going to be crazy. And the world leaders are like, okay, fine, whatever. So they basically set a trap to lure the ultramarines back into the planet. And the world leaders start slaughtering the ultramarines. And the word bearer's plan works. They open a portal, and out steps Lorgar.
Ah, son of a bitch.
He's not like physically there. He's like astral kind of projected himself through the portal. And it's like the most word bear moment in
Wait,
the
isn't
history of
isn't he
history.
like, why did you summon me?
Yes, it is exactly that. He was like, why am I here? And he's like, oh, great lord. I have erected this beautiful temple and did all the sacrifices to summon you. Am I not awesome? Look, we did all this for the crusade against the 500 worlds. And Lorgar's like, yeah, that's done. I've been out of here for like 3 months.
They don't give a fuck about those anymore. Like,
He's like, but look, I took this planet. He's like, I don't even know what this fucking planet's called. Why are you calling me here? Like, I was just sleeping and you woke me up. And he's like, okay, well, is this not great? He's like, I'll tell you what, you come back here and leave the world eaters to deal with the planet. It was so great. And this word bear is like, I can't believe he said that. I worked so hard to erect this massive temple and kill all these people in a crazy way to summon him, and he just didn't even come. He just said, why'd you do that?
Didn't even give a shit about me.
I really feel like if there like was legitimate seances that summoned demons, this was how it would probably be. Like people would do the craziest things, and the demon would probably be like, "What the fuck? Like, what do you want? I was doing something."
Bitch, I'm busy.
Like I got stuff to do. I was doing my taxes, and I got to restart.
You know what it's like to do taxes in hell? It's a lot fucking harder than what you
We're
think it is.
in hell. Taxes are already hell, so think about taxes in hell.
Yeah.
They
Think
take
about doing taxes
100%.
and the dude on fucking fire.
You get taxed on your tax return. Think about that.
It's bullshit.
So it was just so funny. The word bear deal was so funny. It was another like word bear commander that I don't fucking remember his name. He was called the Inheritor because he killed his person in charge, which is a very word bear thing.
Yeah, sure is.
And so he gave him a Lorgar, instead of promoting him, says that he inherited the title, so they called him the Inheritor, which I'm like, whatever. So now
Just
he's all
imagine
mad.
just like Lorgar just sitting on the toilet, like, what the fuck do you want? I'm
Dude.
shitting.
This is so awkward. We've been done with this war for like 2 years. Why are you still there?
You know, there's a giant storm now. That was it. That was the plan.
That's what I made my brother a demon, and we got the fuck out of there. It was very funny, but the end, the word bear was like, now I know that it all works, and now I'm just going to do it even grander. And I'm like, oh my god, you are such a fucking word bear.
It's actually like Lorgar like appears like, God damn it! I told you no.
Son of a bitch. He's like, why won't you bless us with your presence? We're in the middle of nowhere. Why would I come here? I'm like doing shit important.
Bro, I was on Terra.
God damn it. Some very word bear stuff. So that great book because it was very funny. But that was it. What's next?
Good story. Good fucking story. The best story, of course, Vorak. It's Vorax.
Vorax. So there are praying mantis robots on Mars that eat people.
That is Vorax.
That's it.
Honestly, it's one of those things where it's Mechanicum stuff, so it's like I don't know what's happening.
Basically, I think the point of this story was to show that there are constructs on Mars that are now so corrupted by scrap code that they just kind of like do whatever the fuck they want. Like they're like animals. So these robots were hunting them like praying mantises, which I really want to know what inspired the writer to think like, I know how, if I was hunted by a praying mantis, this is how they would do it. And also, why the fuck would the Mechanicum ever make a robot that looks like a praying mantis?
Well, just in case they needed to do praying mantis things.
We have all these other insect robots. We thought the praying mantises could kill them.
Look, instead of having like a cool robot with like swords, what if we had a praying mantis?
It's like, why would you ever make that? Like, here's the thing. Knights, sure. They make sense. They're big ass machines with big ass guns. Like, that would suck. A praying mantis robot.
Oh no, they're breaking out the. Oh, it's just the praying mantises.
It's the praying mantises. What do we do? Oh shit!
Turn on that Titan. I think we'll be okay.
They're ripping each other's heads off. It's the mating season. The Vox mating season.
Idiots! They did not plan for this.
They're just making robots out of every fucking animal. It's like the dolphin robot. It's on the ground. It's coming for you. Razor shot you. I don't know.
Be careful. Don't get you.
I'm totally imagining like some Mars Forge master. Like paying for this dude to make robots.
Every time it's an animal, he's like, God damn it.
He goes to see like what his final products were, and this dude just makes all kinds of animal robots.
We got the praying mantis there. We got the dolphin here. Oh, this is my fucking favorite. This is a sheep. Over here we have this might be a dinosaur. I haven't decided yet.
You have the Forge master. It's just like, God damn it. I've lost so
I wanted knights.
investing in your animal robot factory.
But look at this one. This one's a dolphin.
We don't need to have any water on Mars. No, you don't want to get it in water because it is a robot.
It will short circuit.
It just flops around.
It actually can't swim.
Okay. So that was 4X. We talked about that a lot longer than I thought.
It's a way better one. Are you ready?
Ready.
It's your favorite story.
Oh, it's got to be
Iron Fire.
Iron Fire. Oh my goodness.
This is a story.
This is so
This
funny.
is like how I imagine every single actual war goes. Just a guy in the Jeep going, fucking keep shooting. Sir, they're launching a nuke at us. Just keep shooting.
So let's talk about the premises of this because, again, it makes no sense. So they have the machines that the lion gave Porto Rabo. They made fun of that. Perks, +1. It's the guy that lost to Dantiak.
-1.
-1. And Kruger. So he's like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna simulate the Siege of Terra by using these giant guns to try to break through this fortress. And that's gonna be it. It's gonna be what we do. And Kruger's like, okay, but like I kind of get that, but there's a lot of Marines at Terra. It's like, don't worry, there's 100 Emperor's children inside. Like, first off, terrible simulation. Like, this is very bad. Secondly, so the idea is like, we're going to like drive into the city as we blow it up, which is so smart. Like, I love that. What's so funny about this is like, there's so many funny things. Well, let's start with the first one. Artillery has existed in warfare on Earth for a while now. like
since
a
like
long time.
the 20s.
I mean, more than that. I mean, we had cannons like
Oh, yeah, that's
in the
true.
Revolution,
Yeah.
and the Chinese empires definitely had artillery well before that. So the idea that I'm not saying that this writer was trying to say this, but he's like, oh my God, what if you just rode into the artillery? It's almost like every war tactician ever since artillery was used is like simultaneously.
Bunch of idiots.
Oh, why didn't we think of that? That's genius. We should have just been riding into our artillery fire. The second thing that's so funny about this is this guy is supposed to be reporting all this info back to Porto Rabo as like siege tactics to get through Terra. I call bullshit because 100 Emperor's children that you sneak up on is not the same thing as an entire fucking legion of Imperial fists that will be actively shooting at you.
Also, like, not even like close to the like same concepts as like legions. Like,
Yeah.
first off, that was a pleasure world that the
Yeah.
Emperor's children are fucking around on.
They barely had a military presence. There was no simulations of like the space battle, which I'm sure is probably going to be looked over in the Siege of Terra, because in my mind, I'm looking at the scenario and I'm like, why wouldn't you just bomb it from space? Like,
Yes.
forget about the walls, just blow it up. But the idea of artillery, especially one as powerful as that, is like just eliminate your opponents without them being able to strike back.
Yeah.
Not this whole, we're just going to ride into the artillery and die with the enemies, because that's tactics. Just makes no sense. It's
Also,
terrible.
like, we know Horus has virus bombs. Just use those.
It's just like there's so many options to take out a planet. Why do
Fuck.
I mean,
Just skip Earth. You just go blow up the fucking sun.
now they did it at Calf.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. Like, that would be so easy. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not a military tactician, but what I do know is you do not go to the area where your artillery is being fired into.
I've seen the book Art of War. I might as well be.
Yeah, there you go. I watched the YouTube channel Art of War for 40K, which makes me a military tactician.
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
So, as they're driving in again secretly, the bombs are going off. 2 of their 3 tanks explode. Who would have thought?
That was all part of my variants. We're fine.
These cannons are like accurate as shit too, but they're blowing up stuff around that falls wherever it wants to. So once they get into this place, they beat up the Emperor's children. I don't know, they're doing weird shit with the people, which is fine. I would expect that. But at the end, he's like, I can't wait to take this Iron Fire simulation back to Porto Rabo. And Kruger's like, yeah,
this was
me
a thing
too.
that we did.
Totally. And again, Porto Rabo, when he gets it, is definitely going to act just like that Forge Master at Mars. God, I've been sinking so much money. This is the activity you give me. This is like terrible. Like, this isn't
Should
even
have left you to
comparable.
that fucking rebel. God damn it.
God, this is so dumb. Oh, Jesus. How about we just strap ourselves to the bombs and drop it on Iron Fire? But yeah, the funniest thing in this book, too, is like, he says Iron Fire like every 20
He's like driving in like at like full speed, like yelling Iron Fire, and everyone's like,
everybody's like, should we turn
guy?
back? He's like, no, this is Iron Fire. It's like, dude, that is so cringy. So cringy.
This is fucking so sad.
It's so weird. Yeah, Iron Fire. It's a thing. Look it up. So that was a book. That was the thing.
That was indeed a book. Next
I
is
really hope it never comes up again. I swear to God, if we see
hope not.
Fire at the Siege of Terra,
Iron Fire, let's go.
Iron Fire, you would seriously get the Imperial Fist like, oh, this is great.
Wait, they're killing themselves?
Phenomenal.
All right, less walls, I guess. Red Mart.
The Thiel book.
Yep.
The first
The
one.
first one.
So Thiel is on his way back from Calth, and he runs into this arming station essentially, where there have been satellites or some remote satellite planets or whatever.
Yeah, they're kind of like they're like communication tower type of deals
that have been getting taken out. And the Ultramarines posted there are like, it's no big deal. Don't worry about it. There is no war in Calth. Like, there is no war in Bossing Say kind of thing. Like, it was a very similar to that moment. And I think what's so interesting is like, it makes no sense. Like, all these worlds are getting ransacked. Even have the Ultramarines, your warriors, deny that is so strange.
Yes. Yeah,
So
the whole like concept too, like especially this book. It's like Thiel just makes sense, and no one else does.
He comes in, he's like, "Hey, like I think we should investigate that." And the commander is like, "You fucking idiot! You fucking think we should investigate something? You goddamn moron! You are the worst fucking ultramarine I've ever seen." And Phil's like, "Okay, I'll just do it myself. You're being really weird,
man. You're being a bitch. Fuck you."
No, turns out there was something wrong. There were trade stations. Who would have fucking thought?
You know, I thought they were tired of talking at the stations.
Yeah, I just thought it was like a little storm simultaneously hitting multiple stations at once. Yeah, it's he gets together a bunch of legionnaires that were censored because apparently that's happening a lot more in the Ultramarines,
which is even dumber. With all the shit going on, I think you have more things to worry about than censoring some random soldier.
Yeah, so Theo talks about that the Ultramarines are censoring people like left and right now for like the smallest shit.
Yeah.
And that's such an Ultramarine thing to do. They're so annoying.
They really are.
I was thinking about today, like, what Legion was legitimately like my favorite Legion. And it's hard because like the Ultramarines get a lot done, but that's just because there's so many. They're like a horde army. So eventually there are enough blue bodies at it.
Yeah, I think loyalist wise, I'm definitely a White Scars fan.
I just think like we talked about earlier, their tactics legitimately are very stupid.
They are.
But I think if there were more than 100, yeah, motorcycles, right? If there were more than 100 Raven Guard, I think they'd probably be my favorite. But they can't get anything done because half of them are like part bird.
And then you have fucking Korax just like tiptoeing around all over the place.
Yeah, we just let them do that.
There's so many like cool traitor legions. Like the Alpha Legion's super cool.
Yeah.
Fucking Night Lords are badasses.
Sure.
World Leaders are cool.
Iron Warriors.
Iron Warriors.
Iron Fire. I'm not going anywhere near that. So yeah. So anyway, Theo finds that it's a problem. They end up killing all the traitors, and that's how he forms the Red Marked.
Yeah. He gets back, and like the one guy's like, "Yeah, so what you did was actually like kind of cool." Theo's like, "What? Use my fucking brain?"
In the middle of war, I thought there was an invasion.
Yeah, bro, I don't want to fucking die. I was just helping.
It's very funny because I think that I was waiting for that ending where it was like, actually, I'm proud of you. I wanted to see Theo like, eat shit, motherfucker. You fucking suck.
Man, you're such a dick.
You don't deserve to be a fucking Ultramarine. You should put right over your damn body.
One of the ones that he took, because they were fighting Word Bearers and World Eaters, of course, and one of them got censored because he let some World Eaters like kill some civilians, but he's like, if I stopped them, I got censored. If I didn't stop them, I got censored. So I just kind of chilled.
It was a lose-lose situation. What I don't get about Marines, and this, I'll tell you what, part of this story that really did bug me, because this happened a few times. It was a very anti-field move, in my opinion, is there were multiple times in this story where he was like, oh, leave this one to me. I'm gonna fight this one alone. And I was like, why the fuck would you do that? Like from a
Yeah.
pure like military battle perspective, why would you throw away your numbers advantage for like pride? That is so weird to me.
Yeah.
And that happened at the end too. That guy was like, I'm gonna fight this world eater 1-on-1. And then he died. I'm like, if only it was 3-on-1, then you wouldn't
Yeah,
have
because
died
like
and he would have still
literally,
been
like
dead.
as he was about to die, he was like, "All right, shoot that fucking guy."
Yeah, just fucking shoot him. Problem solved.
Yeah, and then it's like on his like deathbed, he's like, "Thank you, Theo." He was like, "Yep."
I could have done that anytime, motherfucker.
I don't know why we were waiting.
I let you die. So fucking stupid. I
Yeah.
don't understand that about the Space Marines. They do that a lot, I feel like, but they're always like, this one's mine. I'm gonna kill a 1-on-1. It's just like, why? Just shoot them. First off, they're engaging in melee combat in places where missiles exist. Weird. Just shoot
Yeah.
them.
All the like the bombs and shit they can drop. Like, nah, we gotta go fight them with our fucking chain blades.
Our swords. They're not even like more intriguing melee weapons. They're just swords that have chainsaws on them.
It's great.
Yeah, it's great. It's fantastic. All right, what's after red marked?
Stratagem. No. It is Master of the First.
This one was good.
It was really cool.
So this one is the Dark Angel story, which
Yes.
actually we like. We like Dark Angel stories. We just don't like Lionel Johnson.
Yep.
So this one's on Caliban while Luther was trying to take over. And some of the Dark Angels realized that Luther was trying to take over and like do some weird shit with Zahariel, apparently. Apparently, we now confirm like Zahariel is probably evil. He is probably a part of the, what are they called? What are the fallen?
Fallen.
Yeah. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna tell my commander. And the commander's like, yeah, that's some serious shit. We better do something about it. So they have this
So I
entire
think
group.
this might be going on during when Zahara in Fallen Angels, when Zahara, or maybe it was a short story, where Zahara like went to that like old building.
And found the Obonosco.
Yeah, the worm.
The worm. So this is kind of an interesting one. I think this character, I may be wrong, but do you remember the character? I'd have to look this up. That one Dark Angel story called The Lion's Pride, maybe? It was a short story really early on.
Oh yeah.
And he was like a Terranborn that got sent back.
Yeah, because he like argued with the Calvinite.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think this is him.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, and so this commander was basically like, okay, thank you for bringing that to my attention. Let's get together with a group of people and let's try to overthrow Luther. And this guy was supposed to be in charge of the Legion before they met the Lion, and then the Lion was like, no, I'm in charge, and also Luther is my second in charge, so you can be like the third. But secretly, that doesn't mean anything. That's basically what happened.
Yep, basically.
So they plan to overthrow Luther and establish pre-Lion like law on Caliban from their legion, and that would put him in charge. So a bunch of people agreed, and the plan was a group of people would go and take over communications towers. They could communicate to Terra with the help of some Imperial Guard regiments, and a small group of people would go and kidnap Luther. During the during the coup, the commander turned on like a visual thing while they had captured Luther, and he was like, yeah, go ahead and execute your orders. And all the Imperial Guardsmen turned on the Dark Angels, and a few Dark Angels came out of the woods and killed the other Dark Angels, and then the commander killed all the people that he captured Luther with. So it was a double crossing. A double crossing, really.
And like Luther's literally just like sitting there and like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So he didn't tell Luther about this. And Luther was like, why'd you go through all this trouble? Why didn't you just tell me? And he was like, well, I thought it was best.
Prove my loyalty.
Yeah, and Luther had this like kind of moment where he's like, how long into the queue did you decide that like you were gonna kill me or let me live? He's like,
do you just want to fuck me? Like, this is weird.
It's like, no, I planned the whole time to let you live. Turns out this guy was contemplating killing Luther because he wanted to gain power of the Dark Angels.
So a Dark Angels thing.
Such a Dark Angels move. Like, they are like full-blown terrible fucking legionaries. Like, they're all terrible people. They're so bad. Like, they should be a traitor legion. They pretty much are a traitor legion.
Half of them are.
Yeah, and like the Lion just kind of ignores that, and then he gets the shit kicked out of him. Like, they're just so ineffective because they're doing shit. Like, this is like the most Night Lord shit I've ever seen. But at least the Night Lords own it.
Man, it's gonna suck for Courseway when he shows up to Caliban and they're all like about to kill him. He's like, "Whoa,
what the fuck?"
It was Dad. Like, I don't know. I just want help, please.
Also, I think it's funny that this guy's trying to claim power over the Dark Angels, and in my mind, I'm like, I don't know your name, so probably not.
Also, you're still stuck on Caliban, so like, what are you gonna do? Keep training recruits? Cool.
Like, even if you got Luther out of power, like, what were you gonna do about the Lion?
Yeah,
like, he'll come back eventually. Yeah. Cool story. I like it because it's a very Dark Angel story, and I read it, and it fills me with pride knowing that I was right about them.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, I seriously, the more I read about the Dark Angels, I do not understand people that are like, my favorite chapter or Legion is the Dark Angels because they're the most loyal. Like, not at all. Like, when it comes to the rankings of loyalty,
to themselves.
they're not like, they're like really far down there. Like, yeah, he was loyal to the Emperor, but also the Lion went through this entire period where he was like, maybe I should do what Horus did.
Heck, he even killed Nemuel because he was like, you second guessed me.
Yeah, and he
the loyalist.
talking to the Court Swain, he's like, hey, so like between me and you, like if I was to betray the Emperor, would you follow me?
Court Swain's like, can we just not have this conversation?
It's very awkward. It kind of seems like we're going down a path that it's very strange. Yeah, very Dark Angels-esque.
Yes.
How much time we got?
We're at an hour 3, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stories left.
Man. Okay. How about we try to do one more? What's the next one?
Next one is Stratagem.
Yeah, let's go. I think we can cover that.
Yeah.
We go back to Theo. How'd you feel about it?
I like this one. I think we talked about this in the preview. I like how this is kind of like the setup to Codex Astartes.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's kind of really annoying, but essentially Theo forms what we would call today a chapter of the Red Marked. And Gilman's like, that's actually a really good idea. I know I'm a Primarch and a tactical genius over everything in the entire world, but like, why didn't I think of smaller units?
Wait a minute. You're like, we can just use like the normal people and throw in some Astartes and like we're like it works. And he's like, yeah. Shit.
We need fewer spaceships. Whoa. So you're telling me that if I just want to pick up and go to this planet, it doesn't take me 5 days to prepare? What's the soonest our fleet can leave? Like a month. It's too much shit. We got to load up all the bananas, all the horses, all the mechanical horses, all the dolphins, and the mechanical dolphins.
Can't forget the dolphins.
There's so many robots, Lord Gilman. You don't even understand. They keep pumping them out. So I think this is an interesting one. Also, you get kind of the aspect Thiel shows up. They're very cautious about Thiel arriving because previously we had the Alpha Legion attack disguised as Thiel, which still blows my mind that it was able to be a thing. But
yeah, and also like during this entire time, there's like Thiel thinks it's a legionary like behind Gilman, and he's not trusted there by himself. And then at the end, he's like, So who's that back there? And Gillen's like, oh, bro, look what I had made for you. This is a new suit of armor. Isn't this so great?
Yeah, he's got a new suit. He's Primaris.
Also, like, I don't understand like why he's not like Captain Thiel yet. Why is he still a sergeant? The dude is literally leading a whole chapter now.
I think it doesn't matter. Thiel's the type of person that
Hey
doesn't
man, his
care
pay
about the
matters
rank.
to me.
He's the I don't just say get paid. I
He
don't
is
know.
underpaid.
Yeah, well, I agree. Thiel is underpaid. They put organs in his body and make him get shot at, and they don't pay him a dime.
I call for heresy.
Makes sense to me. That's the real reason why they rebelled. Butt plugs and payment. Come to chaos. We have a union.
Look, you get great benefits.
There's a reason the Night Lords keep breaking into war bands. They're not happy with their current pay structure.
It all makes sense.
So yeah, this was kind of an interesting one. Set up for the Codex Astartes. And it was a little bit of a transition to into Deathfire because it allowed Thiel to kind of like leave and go find Numian.
Oh yeah. Forgot about that short story.
Vulcan
That wasn't a
lives.
short story, that was a long story.
Yeah.
Vulcan lives. I was asked about audiobooks yesterday, and like all I could think about was when the narrator started sounding like that little creepy girl. Nevian! I'm like, what the fuck?
Scared the shit out of me, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
I was literally running, and I just had to stop because I was laughing. What is happening right now?
Oh, that's great.
All
Well,
right,
I think that's probably what we can cover.
Yep, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left.
We'll try to do all of them next session and add some more stuff in there as well. So I'm hoping
we should be able to do that pretty well, I think. Probably about half and half.
I'm hoping we don't have to add more time because I'm ready to start reading Path to Heaven. So
Yeah, I think I'm going to start tonight.
exciting.
So, guys, that is it for the first half of Eye of Terra. Yeah, it is Eye of Terra, not Eye of Terror. This is driving me nuts. Can't wait to be done with this fucking book. As always, hit us up on the Discord. It is pinned to our Twitter at Heresy Lodge. If you like contributing to the podcast, we have tips enabled on Twitter as well. You can find us on YouTube. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you want on the Discord. And you can email us at theheresylodge@gmail.com. And we'll be back next week, finish this, and then shoot some shit. So if you have any ideas, let us know. We've had some submissions already. So just throw them in there. This is how it makes them a lot more fun when we do them. All right, guys. Have a good one.
See ya.